is International Women's Day.
Yay! And I have a lovely shirt that I painted yesterday.
And even if you're not a woman, it can be your International Day too. You know.
Yes, yes. I'll get some more light. Yeah, a bit more.
Here we go. So we're just going to open up and stretch and release. You know, I really do find that the shoulders are one of those, it's this opening through the chest when so many people are hunched over on the computer these days. Even when they're sitting watching, they can be like this. So just keep the shoulders and move them back, and that helps to open the heart chakra, right? You just notice if you're releasing or if you're tight, and if the more you notice of what's going on, the more you're releasing, and you're just being freer like a bird.
And I closed my eyes and I was just feeling me, feeling myself, what my body needs. How good is to stretch and breathing all the time. Yeah.
And in breathing, it's like breathe it all in. And then, and you can breathe into different parts of your body, right? You can put your hands under your ribs and you can breathe in. And you want to feel them expand, right? You want to feel even around your back, you want to expand, breathing into all parts of your body. And then you can breathe in. And you're becoming a big.
Yeah. And do it a few times more. You can breathe inside and keep it inside for a while. Then relax and release. Your hands here at your belly, as Jacqueline did. And then you can do the same with your hands here to feel the upper part of your chest. Yeah, and move again. Ooh, stretching. Singing.
Well, in our breathing, there's so much life because that's the experience. When we stop breathing, that's usually when they consider you to be dead. So notice that this is something we do every day, and are you even aware, or are you just taking it for granted what this does? Just putting a focus on your breath. It can change a state in minutes.
And that's your life. From your first inhale, when you're born, until your last exhale, some years later. So enjoy it.
And you become aware of your breath. You notice if you're shallow breathing, right? If you're like, you know, if you've gone running or something and then you're like, oh wow. Or sometimes you might be climbing the stairs. For some people, they've become so burdened in their body that just simply getting up or moving is already taking, just one step already seems too much, and they need oxygen, right, to help them. And everybody's in a different place. So just allow yourself to think that with every breath, you're getting more life force. With every breath, you're getting more energy, that you're breathing in this vital life, and it feels good.
Life force. Yes, life force. Yeah.
And maybe you will discover one day that your breath and what you intention of all that force is even more important than the food you eat.
Indeed. And it doesn't make you fat.
Exactly, because you can go a day without food, but you can't go a day without breathing.
Yes, and oxygen is your fuel. It's the energy. It's our fuel, our gas to move lighter. That's why we breathe more faster when we rise the stairs or when we are stressed too. With stress, we, how do we do? But it's tightened. So just keep breathing lightly, expanding, loving yourself. Yeah.
It, this is giving me new thoughts, because as we're talking about the breath, and I've spent most of my life taking it for granted, right? It's just something that happens, or I've realizing that with every breath, I'm very grateful I have a breath.
You have a life.
Yeah. And that so-called life force that I'm breathing in is allowing my body to move, because I have life. Even if I didn't drink my 8 glasses of water a day, I still need to breathe.
You remembered my tea. I've always something with me to bring me energy, to clean inside. I love to say that we have to clean inside. We take a bath every morning, but do we clean inside? With air, with fresh air, with water, and fresh thoughts too. Three things: air, water, and thoughts. Yeah. And then you can have a sun in your house, a blue sun, because I love to be creative.
And yeah, each one of us is having a different experience, right? There is a common ingredient, is the breath, but each one of us is receiving that breath differently, because some of us are deep breathers, some of us are shallow breathers, some of us we do it, and our bodies process it, And they know what to do with that oxygen and how to release the carbon dioxide and how to take the water we drink and nourish our organs and take those thoughts we think and turn them into more healing when you're in that joy. So it's very relaxing to know that you can trust the process, that this is all going on and I've never even bothered to think about it for most of my life.
Yeah. Most of us don't even think they are breathing or acknowledging they are breathing. But yes, they are receiving life and health and wealth because this is it is free. You are receiving a gift. It's free. So it's part of my wealth too. Oh, and it's a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift of life.
Yeah.
I see. I'm flying, flying like a bird.
And well, even birds all fly, like they seem to fly differently, right? Everybody does things just a little differently. Thank heavens.
Thank heavens. And what's in heaven? The air. What permits birds to fly? The air. Precious. And it's everywhere.
Yes.
For you and me, it's everywhere.
Yes. Because you can be in the tallest mountain or down by the beach or wherever you are, there is air. Air. Breathe. Life. So imagine if that's what you take from today is just go, wow, if I'm grateful, if I'm grateful and I'm happy about this amazing abundance of air because I can breathe and Mena can breathe and you can breathe and everybody can breathe. We never think there's lack. What if that's the new paradigm, that there's always an abundance for every single person because there's always enough breath? And let's translate that into all the other things like joy and health and peace and love and wealth and freedom, and that we're in unity in this new awakened world where we can love each other and respect each other for our uniqueness.
Yay, celebrating. Oh, and it's all ours. It's all yours. And abundance of fresh air for you and me. Hmm. Let's celebrate this abundance that keeps us alive, that gives us life and energy and health. Yay.
Yes.
And we have enough, more than enough for everyone. And it's free. We have it all for us. You have it all for you. Yay.
And how does that work, right? It's free and it's abundant and it gives you life. So that is the gift.
Yeah. Don't you feel like it only because you are thinking it all the things? I breathe and I expand. Embrace the world and embrace myself. And breathing. Expanding to the world. Receiving and giving to myself. La 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 la.
And see, even with the sound of music, right? The story is she had to go out of her safe place of what she considered God in order to truly find herself and to find a deeper relationship with God and how it ripples with everybody. And that's the idea as we step out of our comfort zone into the abundance of this breath that's there, our space, our life. We connect with more and unique and wonderful people, and we can appreciate that we are moving to an awakened new way of being where everything is abundant and everybody is healing.
We are moving to a new way of living when everything is abundant, where everything is life and light and beauty and joy.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel my song.
Yes.
What song are you feeling inside that wishes to come along outside? What wishes to be expressed in your world?
Mm-hmm.
Let's find out.
Do you remember that? Did you used to twirl around as a kid and just twirl?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do think if you're bothered by something, if you stand up, breathe, and then twirl around before you say anything, when you get back here, you'll probably have forgotten what it was you were going to say.
And that's nice, right? You are worried or something.
I feel like I got to go back the other way and unwind.
Last weekend, I was in another program uh, learning about personalities and the body and personality. And of course, it was very intensive, but I like it. But at the end, we were tired. And we had this exercise to bring some old clothes or pajamas or something and then paint with our hands. And it was so liberating, you know, it was so, it was, I never did that when I was a child to paint with my hands. It was so awesome, awesome, awesome. So, oh, I recommend you guys try it, give it a try. It's so good. I never felt like this as an adult, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, to permit myself to be a child, to 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 go dirty or to do whatever you wish. No thinking. No. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I decided to bring this with you. Sometimes it's
But that's it, right? It's play. It's joy. It's connecting with whatever the experience is.
it's so refreshing.
Yeah.
We start, and it was so refreshing. We reborn again, restarting.
Yeah. Play is really what we're here to do, right? We're playing with this experience. We're playing here now. We're playing joyful healing. We're playing with the computer. We're playing. If you just start to look at like life is a play, and when you are tired of playing with something, you move on, and sometimes you clean up your mess. Other times you left it for mom or dad. You know, but it's like that idea is you can move on and experience something else, and it's okay.
Yeah. And neighbors may think or may say, how dare you, with almost 60 years, playing like a child, getting dirt like this. youth, it's youth coming.
Yeah, there is a book written, um, Joseph Chilton Pierce, called The Magical Child. Uh, and when so I think I read it like my first one, so like 25 years ago. And one of the stories that always stuck out in my mind was, he said, so a little boy gets all dressed up to go to church. You know, he's 3 or 4 and he's in his little nice church outfit and he's all ready to go, and he's still waiting for mom and dad. So he goes outside and he sees a puddle and he thinks, oh, that would be great to jump in the puddle. And he jumps in the puddle, of course, and gets his lovely clothes all mucked. And he just wanted to experience that, right? That's what he wanted to do. And yet mom and dad, react differently. Most parents way back when would have been like, what'd you do? We gotta go to church. Blah, blah, blah. Whereas if you can realize, okay, I guess you either go to church like that or we gotta change your clothes. It was just an experience, and if we stop putting meaning into it about right and wrong, we create more freedom in the world to experience, and everybody enjoy the process.
Yes. Stop judging. Stop judging. That is your ego. It is our ego that judges. God doesn't do that. He never wrote, don't give permission to the dirty ones to enter the church. he, never, he loves everyone.
Yeah, and I think there's a story about Jesus that said he would hang out with the other ones. That the Pharisees are the ones that were the ones that looking good and following the rules, but they really weren't loving each other and being in joy. And that's the beauty, is when you can realize every single person is essential, regardless of their education or their job or what clothes they're wearing. Because maybe the person that you might have been judging is your best teacher. Maybe. Or maybe you'll get to the point where you realize, oh, they are your best teacher.
Inside each person is a joy, a jewel. I wish to say a jewel, but it's joy too. So they can be dirty. That can be with old clothes. That can be something doing something you don't like. But they are a person with a heart.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters.
Yeah. And trusting that you can have the joy and be in abundance means living that way. So that's trusting that you will have the resources that you need when you need them. You will make the connection with the person you need to make that connection with. And in that process of going into that new way of being, of trusting the process, you might feel a little uncomfortable. You might go, like it's not quite happening the way you think it should. When you trust it, you're realizing in this happening, you're releasing, you're letting go of your preconceived ideas from the past, and you're embracing this new moment, this clean slate, this new play. It's like, oh, it's new. If it's new, I can't be thinking the same way, can I?
Clean slate. Yes. Oh, and every day is a clean slate. So, breathe and receive. your light, your joy, your freshness, your new you, the one that is born again now.
Yeah. Yeah. Shh, shh, shh. Now, 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 now. Ah, ah, and sighs, ah, and yawns are your body releasing and letting that energy out. And that's a sigh of why we stretch, because you're wanting to fill your whole experience. And then that filling, you'll get new thoughts and new ideas and new ways of playing. And there'll be things that you thought, oh my gosh, I never even imagined I would be doing this.
That's so true. And that's so refreshing. And it's so good. And every movement you do, I do is so refreshing. I am moving slowly in this moment, and it's like a caress to myself, to each one of myself. I am caressing. Mm. Yeah, or kids like you, Papa. That's good. Slow or fast, it doesn't matter if it feels right to you.
Yeah.
If it feels good for you, pleasant for you, that's what matters. Mm. Listen to your body. Listen to your needs and fulfill them. You can,
Ah,
even if in your imagination, you can fulfill all your needs. Start by that.
yeah. If you can think it, it can be. If the thought comes to you, it's already existed. Like, so many people think they get the thought and then they create this situation. And I'd like you to consider that you got the thought because it's already been created. And now your heart, your guidance, your inner is going to lead you to that destination. You're like, I want this business, or I want this new venture, or I want this. And it's like this great relationship. And you start to go, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And it's like, then you start to journey to this experience. I had the thought, it's interesting. I had, have you heard that every person on the planet's DNA can be traced back to one woman, because it's International Women's Day, in Ethiopia?
No.
Yeah, so the ancient, the First Nations people have been saying that this, everything sort of started, and that there's been some science that is so-called proven that everybody has some part of a residual DNA from back then. And when I heard that, I was like, I remember watching a show on Ethiopia when I was a kid. And I was like, I just knew there was something there. And I never got to Ethiopia. I went to Kenya and traveled Eastern and Southern Africa. But that was that moment for me when I gave up the traditional corporate world and took off to Africa. And that's when I discovered, or Eastern and Southern Africa, let's be specific because Africa is a continent, and saw a whole completely different world. And that's the idea, is when you let go of the beliefs that you have, you start to say, I can really get healthier. I can really be healed. I can really have more joy. I can really have more fun. It is an entirely different world. To get there, though, you've got to let go of the way you were being before. And it's a process. And there's so many people online now that are all helping to help you navigate that process.
And you went to a different place and you saw different things. Some of them you haven't thought about them. You didn't know they exist or they existed like that. And it was a great experience. You learned, you brought some things with you for your life. Just that.
Yeah.
Like a tourist, a life tourist. Jay, the best life tourist there is in the world.
Yeah.
And it was you, and it can be me, and it can be you that are seeing us together. We are here for you. We are here for you. And you can be here for you too. Wow, that's lovely. Yeah, we are here for you. We are here for you.
We are here for you. We are here for you. And all you need to be is in the moment. So even if you want to start to wonder what's going to happen next week or what's going to happen next month, it's like, whoa, so much can happen between now and an hour from now. So lean into what it is you desire or that you're hoping or you're wishing would come true. And in that process of maybe leaning into it and hoping you can have more fun and more joy, you might notice that you still have some doubt about it. And then you get, oh, I got to get rid of that doubt. I got to let go of that doubt. I got to, yeah. And then that's the experience. Then you can just keep trusting. And the more you trust, the more you're free to just be in the moment, where the breath is, where the life is, where the fun is, where the hippie shake.
And you may be thinking they are nuts. But for instance, you reminded me when I wanted to get pregnant for the first time, I programmed what age would it be, how would it be. I programmed a lot of things, and then nothing, zero, nothing was as I programmed. So was it worth for me to make the rules and program everything in the future?
I mean, I
But
can't just speak for myself, but if I had to have everything planned out ahead, it took away from the experience, right? And it actually limited what could happen. And when you have the experience of so-called bending reality or stretching time or those new amazing what seems like miracles that go on, that's when you go, whoa, and then that gives you your own experience, and that's when you convince yourself that there's something else to lean into, because we can tell you all about it and we can share from our experiences. And I met a doctor in Canada on Wednesday, and she, in this past year, is a couple of years, we have so many similarities, but yet when I told her that I never vaccinated my kids, she was like, what? How could you do that? Like, how could you get away with that? That was what because she had never known that there was exemptions or that you could stand in that power of that possibility, because she admitted she was just trained on what she knew, and she did what she knew until she started with this last year of questioning some things, and that has opened her up to some other ways of being, and hence we connected. And that made me think of how Mena and I connected, two different, completely different experiences, and we were even born on the same day, and yet now we're back here.
Me, I was born in Angola. You in Canada, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we met in
Yeah.
long distance, and we are here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so everything starts by energy. Anything starts in energetic world, and then it grows physically. Yes. And yes, of course, we can think what we wish to create. Yeah. But at that time, I didn't know about law of attraction or things like that. So I programmed, I planned, I la 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 la. And now, of course, I think I create, I plan too, but it's a different kind of planning. It's, I say the universe, what I'd like to, but always expect better. Because universe, the almighty power, or whatever you call to it,
Mm-hmm.
was a bit more than I in this physical form. So I always expect better. I always expect changes to my plans because because I know life is like that. And if I can get even better than what I wish and think, yeah, why bother to write everything? So, and I have surprises too. Good surprises. I don't like the bad ones. But they make me grow because they are even bad surprises.
Yes.
They are good too. We may not know it, but they are here for some reason to for us to learn something, for us to expand, for us to get something even better. We don't know yet, but we can expect it and accept it because we can think everything it is a treasure. Like in every dirty person can be a heart that is a treasure. We can expect miracles every time, everywhere, everywhere, always, always.
Woo. Always, forever. That's all that is. In every breath, there's a miracle. And when you breathe in that miracle, you exhale anything, doubt, anything that you need to let go of, so you can breathe in more miracles until you're just completely filled with that presence, and you realize, I really have zero idea of how it's going to happen, but you know it's going to happen, and it's going to be better than you ever imagined.
And that you can know and trust. It can be better than you think, even better. Think well, expect well, and receive.
Yeah.
And you can start like me with three, three codes because you don't wish to be cold or to feel cold. And within an hour of being here, moving and receiving love and giving love to ourselves, I have to take this shot off because I'm heating and I feel the heat. And it's like we start from cold and you arrive to lovely temperatures in your life. And now you get enough and even more than enough. Yeah, I like it. Good movie.
Oh. And oh, is just wonderful.
Life is just wonderful. I have to repeat some of your sentences because they are so awesome. We get to hear them twice.
Yeah, it's, you know, I can feel even as I say that there's this a bit of emotion coming up, because it's this deep gratitude that everything really does work out, right? It really does. And it's so beyond comprehension. I mean, so many blessings and so many gifts. And it's through that journey of playing and realizing that it's all taken care of, right? We really can have health, and it's believing that, and it's leaning into that. Yeah, I'm so grateful that my body can do so many wonderful movements, and it gets freer and more flowing all the time.
Everything is working out for you. Everything is working out for you. Sometimes you don't feel like that.
Yeah.
You are not seeing that. But you can start by thinking, by being grateful for what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Start by being grateful. Start from receiving and thank. Not thanking in words, you don't need that, but thanking in your heart, inside of you. That changes your frequency, your energetic frequency to more love, more peace,
Mm-hmm.
more good things to come, more good things to receive. And everything starts by being conscious of what you receive, what you already have, what the world already gave to you, and it's giving to you all the time, like the fresh air, like the breeze. You don't even notice a lot of times, but it is here for you.
Yeah.
The world, it is here for you. Mm.
And sometimes you do have to ask for help, right? You may want somebody to know that you're in pain. You may want someone to know that you're having a difficulty. But sometimes people would like to know, and if you just said, help, I need some help, then they would be right there for you. And so I think sometimes people expect others to know what they're feeling, right? That they're having a difficulty, or they're doubting, or they're in pain, and they're then saying, oh, the help isn't there the way they should know, right? That I'm suffering. And sometimes it takes that, raising your hand to say, I'm having difficulty today. I need some help. And as much as we're saying, tune this on and jump for joy, and you might need to just reach out to someone and say, I'm having a tough time today. Can you be here for me? And by asking that, the person then can say, you know what, I'm in the middle of something right at the moment, but give me 10 minutes, I'll clear it off, and I'll be right here for you, to be with you. And be okay if they need to just finish something up, because if they're just doing it on your time and they're in the middle of something, they're probably not going to give you the presence that you really want. And that's something that I've experienced. It's like when you give permission for someone to say, I can help you but just give me a little bit, or I'll be there for you, or I can't give you all the money you need, but I can contribute a little bit. Whatever it is that you're, receive that, right? Be open to receiving that little bit, even, and the little bits will become bigger bits, and you'll discover that that wound or that pain or that hurt disappears. Or
Yes.
eases.
So have the guts to ask for what you need. Have the guts to ask. Permit yourself to ask. Even if it is to the walls. The walls have ears too.
Yeah.
Because the universe is everywhere.
Yeah. And
So be brave and ask for help.
and that's being ready to receive, like you said, because the universe has ears, right? The walls, you think you're talking to the walls, but sometimes by speaking it out or writing it out, sometimes I've done this, like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. Like, I thought I dealt with this already. And it's like, okay, I'm letting it go, and please give me some guidance. And then the phone rings, you know, or you go for a walk, and then you meet somebody, or you see a bird, or you have that experience because the universe heard you, and you realize, oh, I was heard, I was listened to, it is turning around. Oh, I'm so grateful. So it varies from person to person, and it's through your own personal experience that you'll convince yourself that there's more beauty, more love, more amazing, awesome stuff out there. And we really do, everybody really does love each other.
So we'll leave you with the ask and you shall receive. Ask, ask. Don't be afraid to ask.
Ask and you shall receive. And
You feel like our babies.
I'm reminded of a story about asking for what you need is different than maybe what you think you want. And so I heard there when someone says, I just want to win the lottery. And if I win the lottery, then I'll have all my bills paid. Where really what you need is to have your bills paid. And so sometimes the difference between what you're focused on versus what you need keeps you in that sort of doubt or suffering part. And when you can trust that you'll always get what you need, and it happens, right? Nature only takes what they need. You know, they only eat. When I was traveling the savannas in Africa, I was amazed that every animal ate from a different part of the tree or the grass. Like, it was, everybody didn't just eat the one thing, right? The giraffe ate at the top, you know, the lions take the kill down, and they go in from then the hyenas, and then the vultures. Like, everybody gets what they need in different ways. So trusting that experience is the experience that we have more than enough resources, more than enough on our planet, that everybody can have what they need, and it'll always come in today, tomorrow, the next day, just like your breath that you've never paid much attention to for most of your life, that it's always been there for you. Oh, I'm learning so much today. Thanks, Mena.
But now it is needed. Doesn't need to finish because, again, you reminded me of state abundance. It is everywhere, and many abundance is like this we all, we don't wish the same thing. Animals don't eat the same thing. So what some wish that and others wish that and others wish that in the middle and that's a part of our lives too. We are different and we have and want and wish different things and there are different things for all of us. Wahaha.
It's a fabulous way to finish off. Mwah.
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 Come on for you.